morning student, welcome to this YouTube channel initiated by Gnanmanjri Modern School, Sigor. As you know that we have started our revision number 1 and that revision include 1 to 5 unit which we have completed. So in previous video we have discussed 2 points from unit number 1 and from the same unit today I am going to teach you the another revision topic, that is and of Portuguese rule. So that topic is on page number 2 and this topic is from unit number 2. Let's see what the how this Portugal rule ended. In the beginning of 17th century, the Portuguese expanded their trade to Bengal. At this time, the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan ruled India from Delhi. So it was a time of 17th century beginning point, and at that time Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan ruled India from Delhi. The Subedar of Bengal complained to Shah Jahan about the behavior of the Portuguese. And after that what happened? The Subedar of Shah Jahan complained about the behavior of Portuguese. Means Portuguese were not behaving that in that such a way that the Subedar complained there. Thus, the fort of Hooghly was demolished and the ships were burned as per the order of emperor. So, is a part of that the fort of Hooghly was demolished, means vanished, and ships were burned as per the order of the emperor. In this way, the Portuguese rule came to end with the exception of territories of Diu, Daman and Goa. This point we have discussed in earlier video, so no need to write the keywords for that. Now, most importantly, after this Vasco da Gama and Christopher Columbus, the most important topic from this unit is Battle of Plassey and Battle of Buxar. So we'll start that, student. This is the important topic from unit number 1. Okay. The Battle of Plassey is there on page number 4. Siraj-ud-Dowla became Nawab of Bengal in the year 1956. So here we are talking about this Battle of Plassey, and it is started with the introduction of Siraj-ud-Dowla. And Siraj-ud-Dowla was the Nawab of Bengal and he became the Nawab of Bengal in 1756. He had an overwhelming influence over the British, and he was the British were influenced by him. The British helped the competitors of Siraj-ud-Dowla by conspiring against him so that he would not remain on throne of Bengal. Now what happened? Britishers were not happy with the work of Siraj-ud-Dowla, so Britishers helped the enemies of Siraj-ud-Dowla so that he would just not remain there, and that the Britishers could just dismiss the Siraj-ud-Dowla from the Bengal. There was frequent conflict with the British merchants regarding payment of tax. And now the topic at that time is that British government had conflict and dispute regarding paying tax. When the British merchants failed to pay tax, which were applicable to both India and foreign merchants, the situation came to a boil. And when it was the scene, or it was the time when British merchants failed to pay tax, and those tax were applicable to both, means Indian merchant and the British merchant. At that time what happened? This situation, means this issue of paying tax was there in high point. He ordered that the British should not fortify the factory, pay the tax as per the rule and trade as per the terms and conditions. So here Siraj-ud-Dowla ordered that Britishers factory means that they should means the Sirajuddaulah or his soldiers and his committee members should be known by that work which was going in factory. So that factory should not be fortified. Pay the taxes as per rule. And Britishers also had to pay the tax as per the rule and trade per the terms and conditions. Britishers had to do the trade as per the condition and terms. This provocation was enough for Siraj to opt for war, and he succeeded in expelling the British from Calcutta. And that was the only thing. The Siraj was opted for the war, and he succeeded in expelling the British from Calcutta. And this way, that war was won by Sirajuddaulah, and this way, Britishers were expelled from the Calcutta during that war. The British counter-attacked under the leadership of Robert Clive, but Britishers were not that people who just stay calm or accepted their defeat. So Britishers just did counter-attack, and the leader of that counter-attack was Robert Clive. Clive bribed Mir Jafar, the commander-in-chief of Sirajuddaulah. Now what happened that Robert Clive just gave bribe to that Mir Jafar, and that Mir Jafar was the commander of chief of Sirajuddaulah, with promise to confer the throne of Bengal to him and convinced him to join their side. And what did what did Britishers give to that Mir Jafar? That Britishers told that Mir Jafar would be the next Nawab of Bengal if he gave company to British. Within his help, Robert Clive defeated and murdered Sirajuddaulah in Battle of Plassey. So with the help of this Mir Jafar, Sirajuddaulah was murdered in Battle of Plassey. This was the first war fought by the company in India, which marked the beginning of the British rule in India. And this was the first time that British East India Company, or we can say British Company, fought his first war, and this way they just began his entry, or they just began his rule in India. Thus this war is considered to be a turning point in the history of India, and that's why this war is known as the turning point in the history of India. So this is Battle of Plassey. Mir Jafar, Robert Clive, Britishers and Sirajuddaulah. These four were the important character of this Battle of Plassey. Now in the box, things to know. There is some information is given, and it is written there. Do you know how Plassey got its name? How this Plassey word got its name? So the original name is Plassey. The trees of Palash, that is Khakra, the flowers of Palash trees are saffron in color and are used in making colors of Holi. So this way, this Plassey word got its name. Okay, so student, now I am going to write the keywords of Battle of Plassey, which is very important topic. Sirajuddaulah, and he was Nawab of Bengal in 1756. Britishers helped competitors of him. Him means here Sirajuddaulah. Conflict regarding paying tax. Disputes regarding factories term and conditions. Okay student, first you write these keywords, after that I'll write another keywords. Please note down these. Another key points for this classic battle is terms and conditions that the Britishers and these British merchants and Indian merchants both have to accept. And this provocation was enough for Siraj. So we can say Siraj opted war and he expelled British from Calcutta. Now what happened? Robert Clive bribed Mir Jafar, and Mir Jafar was the chief commander in Siraj-ud-Dawla. He was the chief commander of Siraj-ud-Dawla. Throne of Bengal was promised Robert Clive defeated and murdered Siraj-ud-Dawla. In Battle of Plassey. So this way this Battle of Plassey was held, and this was the First World War which was fought from that company in India, and this was the beginning of the British in India. Okay student, now this is Battle of Plassey. Please note down this. So now next topic is Battle of Buxar. So let's see. As promised, the East India Company appointed Mir Jafar as Nawab of Bengal. So that Mir Jafar was promised to appointed as a Nawab of Bengal after the murder of Sirajuddaulah. So the company just did that. Robert Clive also went back to England, and with the passage of time, Mir Jafar became hostile towards the British. Now what happened? Robert Clive went to India back, and when time passed, Mir Jafar also became the enemy of Britishers. The company decided to replace him with his son-in-law Mir Qasim. So this was not accepted by British or the company. So company decided to replace Mir Jafar, and company decided to appoint Mir Qasim in place of Mir Jafar. Mir Qasim was an efficient, disciplined and clever ruler. The problem arose between Nawab and the company on account of non-payment of taxes, which ultimately brought both the force face to face with each other. Again, there was a problem of paying non-payment of taxes, and that also caused dispute among company and Nawab, between company and Nawab. In 1763, Mir Qasim was defeated by the company, but he escaped. So what happened in 1763? Mir Qasim was also defeated by the company, but at that time he was not murdered. He escaped from there. He recognized his army along with the force of Nawab of Oud, Shuja-ud-Dawla, the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. So he recognized his army along with the force of Nawab of Oud, Shuja-ud-Dawla and Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. Their combined forces met the company forces at Buxar. So these three met at Buxar in 1764. The British East India Company won the war, and all the southern Bengal, Awadh and Mughal Empire was under their control. Again this Buxar war was won by the Britishers, and suddenly Bengal, Awadh, that is Lucknow, and Mughal Empire was under their control, means British control. Robert Clive was sent to India to take off the situation. Again Robert Clive came to India to take the situation. That's how the East India Company, a trading company, emerged as a political power in subcontinent of India. And this was the beginning, or we can say East India Company started his trading power, or influencing its trading power in subcontinent of India. So this is Battle of Buxar. Here we have the important role of Mir Jafar and Mir Qasim. So let me write the keyword. British appointed Mir Jafar as a Nawab. Robert Clive went back to England. company that is his son-in-law Mir Qasim again problems were there. Mir Qasim was defeated and he just ran away. Three forces were there. And which are those three forces? So it was that Nawab of Oudh, so Shauja-ud-Daula and Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. See, British appointed Mir Jafar as a Nawab as British promised Mir Jafar to become a Nawab of Bengal. Robert Clive went back to England. Mir Jafar became hostile of the company. So, company decided to replace the Mir Jafar by Mir Qasim, who was his son-in-law. Problems were aroused with Mir Qasim too. So what happened? There was a war and Mir Qasim was defeated, but he was not murdered because he just ran away from that war. Three forces were there, and which were those three forces? So those three forces were Nawab of Oudh, Shauja-ud-Daula and Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. These three became group and they decided to fight against company at Buxar. First you write this, after that I'll go with another key point. Please note down this. So what happened after those three became one group? So this forces met the company at Buxar in 1764. British won the war and all the forces came under company's rule. It means this Awadh, Mughal Empire and Bengal. Robert Clive came to India to control. Trading was started. So this way the trading was started, means British trading was started. Now what happened? Mir Qasim ran away and they just made force. And these three forces met the company at Buxar in 1764. Now British won that Buxar war too. So suddenly all the forces, means the Bengal, Lucknow and this all that the number three forces came under company's rule. And Robert Clive again came to India for that trading, and this way trading was started, and politically that political issue and politically that trading became powerful at the end of this battle of Buxar. So this way, in both battle of Plassey and in battle of Buxar, Britishers won over that Nawab and Mughal, and this way this both that battles were ended, and this way Britisher just became powerful over the India. So this is battle of Buxar and battle of Plassey, and this by this we have ended the revision topics of unit 1. Now it's time to give you homework, students. So your today's homework is are very important, so you have to write that. Write in detail about Battle of Buxar and about the Battle of Plassey. So these two are the important topics. So you have to write about this Battle of Buxar and Battle of Plassey in detail. We will meet again with new revision topics, students. Till then, bye. Take care.